Dominion Lending Centers.
Dan, we have to
Regional Vice President.
Regional Vice President.
Dominion Lending Centers.
Courtney Kencher. We have had.
Did you like that intro or what? I came out
It's
the gate.
like such an honor.
Thank you.
I expect nothing less from the two of you.
Thank you.
She's already feeling so comfortable.
Thank you.
I was a little bit worried that she was like gonna feel a little nervous. Lights, camera, action. You're used to it. You know.
I am a star.
Understandable.
Stellette.
What's that?
The star in Italian.
Oh, I like that. It's like ballets, but stellettes.
Yeah, you're a ballettes.
I don't think that's a good thing.
So before we get into like the nitty gritty. Oh man, today's not a good day for me.
It's a great blazer though, eh?
Thank you. Unlike a lot of other people
Is
we've
it
had
gonna
on
like
the show.
distort on the camera like all weird because of the dots? Because it's a great blazer.
I don't even know what these are. Are they dots? They look like, I don't know what they are. Anyways,
Just look great.
we had the pleasure of working with Courtney
Yes.
for multiple years. First met you when you were with Sagen.
Yes.
Yep.
Right?
COVID. Yeah. It was during
You
COVID.
came to the golf
tournament.
tourney.
Is that when you started at Sagen?
No, that's when I switched territories
Switched
and I took over
territories.
Clear Trust.
Got it.
Yeah.
She was there for 6 years. Did my homework.
Yeah, he did.
And then we got to work with her.
Did you start when you were 15?
Something like that. 11.
No, like actually though.
Yeah. She had fake ID. 11.
Right.
Said 18.
Who?
No, she started at Meridian when she was 12. What were
No,
you
I
at
actually
Meridian?
didn't
You
start
were
at
at Meridian before Sagen? No way.
I was actually at two places before Meridian.
What?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's not on your LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
If you're gonna pull like the Ritz here or something, then that doesn't count.
No.
Okay, where were you?
I didn't get her full
BMO. I started
resume.
at BMO in 2012. Retail banking, 2012, grade 12.
Hold on. Oh,
Grade 12.
Grade 12.
Oh, yeah. Must have an early birthday.
Oh my God, we're the same
No,
age.
late birthday, October. I was 17 when I started at BMO.
That's
Are we the same age?
not possible. You're supposed to be 18.
94? You're younger.
Oh, you guys are
just
so
turned 30.
young.
I know, it trips me out, man.
You guys are so young.
That's crazy, Court.
Yeah.
I feel super old.
But I feel like that's like
Here I
most
am.
people in the industry started
Yeah.
in retail banking.
Yes.
Yeah, would you were a
right?
teller?
As a teller,
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. Okay, so
yeah.
so
What
go ahead,
branch?
Go ahead.
Oh gosh, Albion Mall, Kipling and
Oh,
Finch.
yes. I love Albion Mall.
Oh,
I
You
try
know
to buy it
what's, you know
still.
what's interesting?
I don't love it
about-
anymore, but used to
Yeah.
love it.
You know what's interesting about BMO?
What?
Tell us.
Kind of like a hot take, kind of.
Okay. Hot take.
The-
Max. Hot take. Yeah, he's not even paying attention.
He's
Whatever.
not. He's gone. He's
He's gone.
thinking about
Every
his
time I ask him
Americano.
to put a picture or something, never happens.
Never.
Because he never writes anything down. I think it's a Max thing. Anyways,
Right.
Um,
Shots fired.
BMO stands for Bank Montreal or Bank of
I
Montreal.
really hope you got that right. You worried me for a second when you paused.
He was like,
BMO stands for Bank Montreal.
Yeah.
Bank of
But-
Montreal.
but-
So it should be
yeah.
BOMO, but it's BMO.
Right, but they market BMO Bank of Montreal. Are you just saying it twice? Or am I not getting it right?
Ah,
BMO
yes.
Bank
You know what I mean?
Montreal.
Like they say
Yeah.
BMO Bank of Montreal.
Yes. I don't want to.
Like TD Bank, Toronto Dominion Bank.
That's a little weird.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's something I've always kind of
Yeah.
struggled with.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like when somebody says it's 5 a.m. in the morning, which is so common. I hear people say it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's where you can't. It's 5 a.m.
It's not necessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way, sorry. We digress.
That's a good point, though. I'm
you.
thinking about
Okay.
that now. Let's see if we can get the answer.
Is that what we're leaving with? So is that what we should call this episode?
BMO Bank of Montreal?
Right.
Sure. It was just a question.
Someone
I'm
should give
just
us the answer.
I'd love to understand the context of that.
Well, we have to
but
call someone.
but ultimately the brand awareness is good because you know that it's the Bank of Montreal.
Correct.
Because it used to be BMO only. I remember that.
Well, maybe we should throw this out to the audience.
Right,
If anyone
right.
knows the answer.
Please
Yeah.
hit us up.
Yeah.
Max will deal with that.
Max will deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to work with you at Sagen, BMO, which we're going to get into because that's really
BMO
cool.
Bank of Montreal.
Yes, Broker Edge. And then now you are the RVP of DLC, which is
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
So you talk to us. You started at BMO, then you go to Meridian, which is
No.
no, somewhere else in between.
Went to CIVC in between.
Oh,
Also
wow.
retail?
Also retail.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started at BMO when I was 17. It was really funny, actually. I was working at Albion Mall at the No Frills.
Yes.
Okay. When I was in grade 10,
You got
11,
recruited.
12.
Classic story.
And I went into BMO to inquire about how do I start taking money out of my RESPs. And I started chatting with the branch manager, who's still with BMO to this day, Margarita. And she was like, oh, have you ever thought about working at the bank? And I was like, yeah, it seems like super cool. Like I wasn't planning on going into finance, but like, yeah, being a teller sounds cool. Long story short, I started working there.
What a
as a
Traded the
teller.
yellow. You traded in the
Yeah.
yellow plastic bags
Yeah.
for BMO.
Yeah.
What a
good story.
blessing, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a job at the bank for the life of me
Yeah.
when I was 17.
You know
Sure.
what? Yeah.
What did you show up wearing?
A Tim Hortons outfit. With
Maybe they would
the visor.
And white suspenders.
For sure.
Oh, of course, the suspenders.
You got to hold the pants up, man. Like,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Belts weren't
I'm a
around back then.
suspender guy all the way.
Okay, good.
Classy guy.
Glad to hear.
Yeah. Paul does not like it.
Okay, and then you go to Meridian, finally.
No, CIBC.
No, yes, you told us. BMO CIBC, then Meridian.
Yeah, and then
What did
Meridian.
you do? Is that? Did you meet Marion Cherion there?
Yeah, I did.
No.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I went to CIBC. So
You met MJC at Meridian.
that's how I found out what Meridian. I had no idea what Meridian was.
That's incredible.
He reached out to me on LinkedIn. So I was working for Commerce Court at the time as a senior FA.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'd love to talk to you and whatever. And I was like, I've never heard of Meridian. Like, I don't even know what a credit union is.
Right.
So his branch was down the street, like in the financial district. So I went to meet with him, and the rest was history.
What'd you do there?
So senior FA, assistant branch manager.
Cool.
But that's probably, you always think back in your career, there's someone that stands out to you.
Yeah.
We've already said his name at this point, but he's been like my mentor over the last 10 years, like a great friend now, someone I still go to with every decision I'm about to make.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
MJC. What a Stellets?
Bellets?
No,
Or
the
You said
star.
the other word. You have the
How do
star.
you say star?
Stella, really, but I said Stellat or Stellet. I can't remember now.
Paul, are you okay, man?
I made it up.
Is it the
I
Blazer?
made it up. It's really Stella.
MJC. What a star.
What a star, yeah.
Shout out
Yes.
MJC.
Yeah.
He's a golden human for sure.
He really is.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
He really
Yeah.
is.
And then what? He left. So you left, like type of thing. Like how did you go to at the time Genworth and then turn?
Yeah,
to
so we
Sagen?
went to open. So he was a branch manager. He was opening up a new branch in Ronsville. So I went there. We kind of opened the branch together, learned a lot of great things. And then he was having, I think it was his first kid, Zoe. So he wanted to move closer to home. So he was going to open up the branch in Brampton. That didn't make sense for me. I didn't want to go there. And I was kind of at a standpoint. I think it'd been like 7 years and I've been in retail banking, maybe a little bit 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what's next? Like, what am I going to do next? So I kind of had two choices to go open up a branch for Meridian, but in a totally different district that was quite far from me, or to come to Genworth at the time, now known as Sagen. So again, this is where MJC comes back. So someone had reached out to him and was like, I have a role that you're going to be great in. I want you to come over. And he was like, not for me. I'm having my kid. I'm going close to home, but I have someone, you need to talk to her.
Wow.
She'll be great in the role. So long story short, again, MJC came in clutch for that.
star.
What a star. So
Good
that's why
story.
I ended up there at Genworth. Now
Can I ask you a
Sagen.
question?
Mm-hmm.
Through your career progression, like in retail,
Yeah.
you mentioned that MJC really stood out to you. Is there anything that stood out about your character that allowed you to progress so kind of quickly in that time?
Yeah, so I think a couple things. So Marion always says, he's like, I saw something in you very early on. He's like, it wasn't even a question for me. Like the moment I met you, I saw something in you. And then the same thing when I went to Genworth, I was 21 at the time and it was an account manager role. And they won't ever say it, but I know the age thing was a big, it was a barrier for sure. I was only 21 years old. And Lisa Trudell, who's now retired, she was the VP of National Sales. It came down to myself and another candidate, and the age came up, and she was like, no, I see something in her. I think, you know what, you're kind of born like a hustler a little bit, like you'll do what you got to do. And I think that's what it is. Like I want to be the best at what I do. And I'll work to show you that. It comes down to me. You need to meet people who are going to give you the opportunity, and then you prove yourself, right?
You need to have something that stands out to them, but you also gotta hope that the person like says, "Oh, I see. I'm willing to give a chance," right? Which is fantastic. So then you make the move from Sagen to go and
back to BMO, where it all started.
BMO. But what's so exciting about that, and I want to really dive into this, is that they were re-entering the space. So you're walking into a brand new or recreated role at BMO Broker Edge, and we ended up being one of the accounts for you, which was fantastic. But let's talk about, jumping back into you knew the broker world, obviously, but it's a new lender, lots of eyes. Coming in, we were fortunate enough to do it with HSBC as well. So we went through one, and we were really, really excited and happy to be supporters of BMO as well along the way. But walk us through, there's a lot of uncertainty. How long are we going to be around? Is it going to be successful? What are the parameters? Like, what's going through your mind? And then maybe we'll talk about why it was successful.
Yeah, I think for me, being comfortable in the uncomfortable is very important. I get bored very easily. Right. So again, same thing when I was at Sagen, it had been 6 years. Sagen, it's a great organization. People don't typically leave. So in order to move up, you're kind of waiting for someone to retire. Right. I was not tapped out, but I was bored. There was nothing really more for me to learn. And that's when the news that BMO was coming back in, they were going to hire for 6 senior BDMs. When do you get to be part of a major FI launching something new? Right. Very rare. So I thought, this is going to be cool. Like, this is a really cool opportunity. You'll probably never come around again. So I put my name in the hat and I was like, this is kind of where it all started. I liked BMO's culture. So I thought, yeah, let's go for it. And
that's super cool.
It was fun. I wasn't there very long, but it was fun. Oh. It was a good year and a half.
So walk us through like the early stages of before it launched. So you get on, how are you deciding, not you kind of get your accounts, but what's going through maybe a little bit behind the scenes? How are we going to make this successful? Who are we looking to compete with? What even defines success at the beginning?
Yeah, so what I thought was really exciting was like upper management and the executive level team really have never been in the broker space. So the 6 senior BDMs that they brought on, they were looking to us for that insight. So we didn't come into a portfolio of here's your accounts. Like when I joined, we didn't have territories. I didn't know who I was going to support. It was really the 6 of us sat down with management. And we were all like, a lot of us were geographically very close together. So we're like, okay, who's going to take what markets? So we kind of just worked together. And we're like, okay, we drew it out ourselves. And then we're like, okay, this is my area. These are the accounts I'm thinking. We just kind of helped each other. Right. So there were, we came, it was so fresh. Like there was nothing ironed out really for us. Yeah. So that's what was so exciting about it though, was to be able to work with the other 5 people. And yeah.
And was it, how would you define year one?
It was, I think, amazing. I think the biggest challenge, obviously, coming into something new, a lot of the issues are the bumps that you're going to face bumps, right? You don't know until you launch. And then when they do happen, they've never happened before. So It's like, what do we do now, right? But the team was like truly really amazing there. I think BMO took a great approach, really strategic, right? And I think that was a big issue for a lot of agents was, well, you don't appreciate me, like let me on. And it's like, no, we want everybody, but we want to do it in a way that, if we remember HSBC faced some issues early on, like we want to make sure when we bring you on, we're ready to support and service you. So just wait. And you know what, I used to say like in the second and third wave, like a year later when we were bringing people on, I'm like, we're in a lot better position now than a year ago. So you're going to get a better version of us now. Right. So, but no, it was a good year and a half. It was a good year and a half. Mm-hmm.
You're about to ask something and I interrupted. No? Nothing on the
I felt like
front?
the wheels were spinning.
Yeah.
For
No, I'm just thinking, you're incredibly supportive and like you really understand the both sides, right? You understand the profitability of the organization. You understand the breakout of how things should be kind of allocated. And you also understand that, brokers need to get back to their customers, and you understand the entire kind of conveyor belt of the business makes you extremely effective and just so easy and fun to work with. So I think that, you have some very special characteristics, which I can see why, DLC jumped on the opportunity to bring you on board. And I think you've only done incredible things since you've been there. And you've only been there for what now? A couple months, right?
I think it's been like 3.5 months. Yeah, early Jan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Early Jan.
So very, very exciting stuff for Dominion Lending Centers. So we're glad to see that.
Thank you.
How are you enjoying your new role?
I love it. You know what? What's great about DLC? A big bank, you're always going to have restrictions, the corporate ladder, and, to get any kind of change made, it takes years and you almost have to like give your firstborn, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas DLC, it's a lot less corporate. You kind of really are doing your own thing. I think the other thing with DLC too is regardless of what your title is or who you are, whether it's Gary Morris, the CEO, or Eddie, everyone is so willing to help, which is really nice. I remember, I think it was like my second week and I was in a meeting and I come on and I had a voicemail and it was from Gary, and I've never met Gary before, but leaves me this really long, super nice voicemail. I was like, can you please call me back? So I call him back and he's just like, I've heard great things. We're so happy to have you. And if there's anything you need, here's my personal cell. And I see him do that with agents too now. And I just think that's huge. That's huge. The culture here is fantastic.
He's very, very accessible. That's for sure.
No, it goes a long way for sure. So what's your day-to-day right now responsible. It's a brand new role, right?
Yeah. So I think DLC kind of created this role to have boots on the ground, right? And we were talking a little bit about it before. Where do agents go when they need support? And I think that's what makes DLC different than the other networks is you're not going to get the same kind of hand holding and support that you're going to get with DLC than you're going to get with other networks. So really day to day, my responsibility, make sure that our agents are happy. You know, we want to retain you guys. We want to make sure that if there is anything you need, you know who to come to. Training, working with like, you know, MPP, Peter, or, you know, the Velocity Newton guys when there's issues, just really being like the first person that any agent can come to whenever they need anything at all. So.
And is there your role in every province or is it territory? Like how many?
Yeah, so I'm all of Ontario, and then we do have someone for like Western, someone for Eastern. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's a...
Is this Mary Gronkowski's old role?
So similar.
Okay.
She's focused now on just AML and compliance because she's the queen of that.
Yeah,
she's the queen of that.
Yeah.
So that is taking up all of her time.
Yeah.
And then I'm here kind of for everything else.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Is this something that DLCG did across the board? Like, I think we had Angela Clark on.
And,
she's the same for MCC.
Yeah, for
counterpart
MCC. She's
for-
for MCC. Yeah.
And then I don't know about mortgage
architects
if they did it, but pretty. I mean, listen, the support's required, right? For sure, for the amount of agents, and I think you've done a really good job about focusing on, in particular, CRM and database management, which I know you want to dive in a bit. Like you've already had a bunch of sessions with our group.
Yeah.
So maybe walk us through the importance of that, what you're doing to help, and maybe just, you know, the benefits of, you know, using it through Velocity.
Yeah. So I think for me, what I notice is agents are really great at, you know, finding new business and building relationships. But when they get really busy, they don't stay on top or stay in contact with their clients, right? Which is fair. And I think that's why data management and the utilization of a CRM is so important.
Yes.
That's normally the first question I ask in every session I do. I'll ask, you know, who's using the Velocity CRM? You'll get some hands. Then I'll be like, okay, for those that aren't on it, are you using like an external CRM? And a lot of agents are just like, no, I'm not using anything. And I'm like, you're not using anything? Like, what do you mean you're not using anything? Yeah. So I think for me, that's been the biggest eye opener. I'm a very type A organized person, and that's how I run every aspect of my life. So for me, that's like a shocker. And I'm like, no, we need to get you on something. And I think DLCG has done a great job at, you know, creating a lot of content and the gold rush that we have, and, you know, really giving agents, you know, a one-time setup. At least you're hitting certain milestones every year with everyone that you have in your database. Very important. You want to take it to the next level? Let's sit down and talk, and we'll help you take it to the next level. But I think that's so important, and I think that that's where I'm really passionate about. Seeing agents kind of, whether they're a newbie or someone who's, you know, very experienced and does great business, how can we really help you and elevate even further? So I'm smiling at you because I just did something with your team, and it was, and I'm like, this is going to be great.
I think that, you know, another characteristic that stands out to me is that you're extremely proactive, right? Like you're on top of us to say, hey, you know, let's get you set up. Let's do this. It's not challenging. I'll help you. I'll sit down with you. You sat down with our team for like a half an hour. And you know, now we're cooking, which is awesome.
Cooking. Chef DF.
Yeah, Chef DF.
What's Gold Rush?
So
for those that don't know.
Yeah, so Gold Rush is, so within the
question.
That is a great question. So within your Velocity CRM, you have the ability to send out campaigns. So Gold Rush was something that Gary and the DLCG team created, and it's really just a tool within, and it's different marketing material that goes out at different stages throughout, you know, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, maturities, after closing. Basically touch points where if you don't have anything else running, this is the bare minimum this needs to be running. Like on average, your client's going to hear from you about 8 times a year, depending on obviously if they're like a lead or a pre-approval, but it's pre-done campaigns that go out. It's a one-time setup, and it blasts your database depending on certain metrics. But it's the starting point. That's what I tell all my agents. This is just the beginning. This is where we start. If you don't have anything else, because it's a one-time setup and it runs. So, you know, you spend an hour doing it and that's it. You don't think about it again. So bare minimum. But it works. It is super effective. I don't know if you guys are on like the Facebook groups, like for DLC agents or like I Love Mortgage Brokering. But
I don't have Facebook.
No way.
I'm in the same camp.
You either? Really?
No.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
agents are always talking about it. They'll just say like their business has.
I have heard good things about it.
You'd be so
Yeah.
popular on Facebook. You have so many Facebook friends.
I'm okay. I'm good.
I'm just saying.
I have enough friends.
You'd have so many Facebook friends.
I appreciate
You'd
that.
be Facebook famous.
I really just feel like the line I said could be misconstrued, like that I have enough friends. I don't mean that in a bad way, like a cocky way. Just not looking for like.
Are you like
Facebook
looking to
friends.
like get rid of a few? Like, where's your head at?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I'm very happy in my current situation with
Wonderful.
all my friends.
Wonderful.
Love them all.
You're first
But,
on the list to go, eh?
I think so.
No,
I think so.
no.
But you know what? It would hurt me for sure.
Of course.
I'd be hurt.
You won't.
You're not going anywhere.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's the community shares a lot with each other on those Facebook groups.
It works. I think the stat is about, I think it was 70 or 80. Gary, if you're watching this, don't kill me. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's like 70 or 80% of our growth at DLCG comes from agents that are utilizing the Gold Rush
Yeah,
platform.
no, it's great. It's a great tool.
Yeah.
And you guys have systemized it now and, branded it as Gold Rush. And I think it's very, very effective. And it also, like you said, it's the bare minimum of you being in contact with your clients. And although they know that it's like a system, they still respond. Like I get responses all the time. And the text thing
Huge.
is like I think I get a response like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
I could be a little aggressive there, but it's a lot.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's really
huge.
good. Yeah. And I changed it to sound a little bit more like me, like the
Everything's customizable. Yeah.
exactly. So
yeah.
like the birthday message, I changed it to what I would personally say on a birthday, or like the maturities, I wrote what I would say, which I think if you just spend a little bit of time and just make it sound more like you, it just gives it a little bit more of a human feel.
You have to. You
yeah,
have to personalize it.
yeah.
And I know there's so many like agents here and teams at ClearTrust that do a really great job at utilizing the CRM to its fullest and creating more custom content. I mean, the great thing is all the templates are in there and you just go in and then you edit it, if you want to swap out a picture or make it more personal with how you would maybe sound. But it's so quick and easy to do it. If you're not staying in contact and on top of your clients, someone else is.
100%.
Boom.
Someone else is.
Drop the mic.
Like, there's nothing else to it, right?
I'll drop it, otherwise I'll get in
trouble. Should
trouble.
I drop it?
Well, we do need new ones, so.
Oh, here we go. I'm still paying off these ones.
I know.
His
I
finance
heard.
is not
I
over.
heard.
Yeah, I'm on a 79-year amortization.
Are you? Is that even a thing? Maybe in equipment
Just for
studio.
the record, everything's paid off.
Thank goodness.
Let the people know.
Just for the record, I love all my friends.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. That was a little weird.
It was. Yeah. We might have to cut it out.
No. If we're not cutting out the BMO thing, that's
It was
staying.
more.
That-
It was
that's
more. It was
staying.
more Facebook.
Right.
But what's the BMO thing? Bank of Montreal
Yeah,
again?
because I don't want them to misconstrue that. Anyways,
Whatever. We'll leave it to Max.
you know
Who's
what's-
gonna forget and still keep
for sure,
everything in?
1,000%. Which both Max forget. They have the
Yes.
same. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's really effective with Velocity is being able to pull the reports and how customizable the reports are. So, for example, I need to do a better job in my own practice to call my database on maturities, to develop business. Like I forgot to mention in the last episode is that I've been running some simulations for customers with rates over 5%. Anybody under like 499 and under, it doesn't really make sense with the penalty, but anybody 5 and over, it's been really effective. I highly recommend using ChatGPT to help you run the simulation. It's been really effective for our day-to-day practice. I think that it's a very effective tool, but we'll get to that another time. But the spreadsheets that we're able to pull, the reports, they're super easy to pull.
So easy.
Like really easy, and you can get so nitty-gritty with it. I think one suggestion that you've had to DLCG, which they're taking very seriously, is to be able to include non-subject properties in the maturities, which I think you guys are working on right now. But
there is a campaign for that.
they heard you.
The non-subjects, there is. The issue with the non-subjects, it's all really dependent on what the agent has put in as the maturity date, right? And a lot of times agents just kind of
The input. Yep.
guesstimate it or just throw in anything. But it will, if you have your Gold Rush completely set up, there is 2 triggers for non-subject properties.
Boom. So anyways, pulling the reports has been incredibly effective, and it gets so granular, and you can pick what you want and what you don't want. And people want to hear your voice. Like, even if they're going to renew with their existing bank because they're just giving them like a crazy interest rate and they don't need to restructure, reamortize, refinance, do whatever, no line of credit, whatever, they still want to hear your voice. And I get really positive feedback calling on the maturities. And I was able to pull the reports without any support which
I'm
means
so proud.
thank you so
I'm
much.
so proud.
Yeah, Vito thinks I'm a tech genius, but I'm really not. But really effective tool. If
Yeah.
people aren't using it, I highly
Yeah.
recommend it. And pull your reports for any customers that you've done over the last 5 years with rates over 5%. Really, really important. And any variable rates with not the best discretion. So there's a little bit of a plug in there.
So Gary just sent out an email. I think it was, what day are we? Wednesday. On Monday.
Wednesday.
I believe on Monday.
Maybe I'm not
And
important enough. I didn't receive it.
on Monday. You definitely did. I'm going to
Perhaps.
come check your computer after and show you
Perhaps
where it
I'm
is.
not important enough.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, for sure got it.
You're important.
Potentially, we'll see what. We'll let her keep going.
But it's exactly on that. So one of our, at MCC, one of the broker owners there did this really amazing video. If you were in the session that you weren't in, you had to go that day. But I showed it all, everyone that came the video. They did a great job. They used the reporting to pull a report of everyone. I think they did over 5%.
Okay.
Then they used the My Mortgage Toolbox app, which is a fantastic,
Yes.
the best in the space.
Really good,
in
yeah.
the mortgage
Yeah,
space.
really, really good.
They pulled some scenarios. They put a really great kind of one pager together with embedded videos, and they sent that out to their database. And the response was overwhelming. So
Wow.
when Gary saw that, he was so impressed that he was like, would you mind if we did this for all of DLCG? So we just uploaded on Monday a new template in the CRM
Oh.
based on this. It looks amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, the Gold Rush templates are really, dare I say, sexy.
They are.
Really nice.
Our marketing team is
Yeah.
fantastic.
The old ones were a little bit like archaic, a little bit.
Yeah.
Still fine.
The new stuff, and they're working on new ones
Yeah.
as well right now, but
Yeah.
that newest one is amazing. And I was just on a call with one of your agents this morning, and he said he wasn't as busy as he would like, and he's like, I have my Gold Rush set up, but I don't feel like it's working to its full potential. Like, do you have ideas for me? So I said, listen, I showed him how to pull a report.
Yeah.
We did over 5%.
Amazing.
I said, here you go, you have about 90 something people in the last little bit.
Amazing.
Perfect. Now we set up, I went through, we created a campaign with that new template. We sent it out to all his database, and I said, you can take it a step further. If you have nothing to do, pick up the phone now and call these people individually.
Yeah.
Take it to the next level, right?
Yeah.
Like, great, you've sent it out by email. Hopefully everyone looks at it. But if not, start reaching out.
Yeah, I'd love to maybe set up another session with you and Gian. Maybe you guys can we can layer on. Yeah. Well, that'd be really cool. You guys are just, doing the right things. And I think that, DLCG investing in having a person such as yourself on the ground, like
Yeah.
boots on the ground, it's incredibly effective.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree too.
What else you got there, Paul? Or are you tapped out of questions?
I am tapped out of
Or
questions.
are you just worried about the friend thing?
No.
Oh, you're good now.
That's all he can think about now.
No, totally good.
Hair
No, I'm
looks
tapped
great.
out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
I'm going to start with you
this
because
is-
you're right
yes,
beside
This is
me.
this is Paul's.
I'll give Paul his
This is
moment.
Paul's favorite segment.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like
It's
this is going to be
called-
such an easy
Paul loves
question.
It's
to get
called
questions.
Grill Us. You put a picture of a grill
Grill Us.
beside Dan's face, like a
Oh, sorry.
grilled cheese.
I thought you wanted a fist pump.
No.
Either way.
No.
So we can joke and say that, you're not incredibly important to us, which I think
I
you
thought
know
she
you
was saying
are.
incredibly handsome.
Oh, well,
I
we
am-
obviously all know that. We all know that.
You're
That's a
obviously
given.
incredibly important.
That's
to
a
us.
given.
Top 3, not 3.
That's a given. But I mean, truly, Clear Trust has a name. Everybody knows Clear Trust. You guys are amazing, and I can't say you're my favorite, but I think we've built some really great relationships over the years, and I've known you guys for a while now. But to see how many top performing agents this office has produced is quite incredible, you being one of them. So I would kind of ask you, like, what's your key to success? If you had like a new, younger individual that's thinking about getting into the mortgage broker space, like, how have you been so successful? What do they need to do? Give us all of your secrets.
Great question. Thank you for that. Two parts. Number one, when you become a mortgage agent, you need to effectively imagine they have a tattoo on your forehead that says, I do mortgages. And anywhere you go, people need to speak to you about that tattoo. And you continue to develop your network with that. So that's kind of step one, developing the network, letting people know what you do, being proud of it. Number two, educating yourself on the space. No, it's number two. Put number 2 up. Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He gave it
There's gonna be more.
Classic. So number 2 is really educating yourself and building a strong foundation of the business, of what impacts the business, what are lenders offering, how can you put deals together in a creative manner to ensure that you're giving your clients the best product, best rate, best everything. And number three. Yeah, I said 3.
Nope.
Did I say 2?
Yep. Okay, continue. Continue. I want to hear 3.
The third is the last one, is building out a process, of a process that you'll need to remain nimble with, but ensuring that you know exactly what happens at each stage with each customer, no matter whether it's A, B, private, refi, purchase, whatever the case may be, the same process. So how do you onboard the client? How do you collect documents? How do you communicate with the client? How do you communicate with the referral partner? How do you communicate with the lawyer? How do you communicate with the bank? How do you deal with approvals? How do you put together the package? What is your post-funding process? All that needs to be ironed out before you even do your first deal. And then those 3 things together in harmony will make anyone a successful agent. Now, you need to focus on your strengths, right? And of course, in the beginning, as you're developing, you need to know how to do all aspects of the business. But should you not be so amazing at organization, you need to start looking at staff at 10 million.
I remember you told me that very early on. One of your biggest regrets, wasn't it, not hiring somebody sooner?
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
You gotta hire right away. Make a little bit less money, even make no money. Get somebody in, get out, start building your business. I think if I would have done that, I probably would have hit the goal that I wanted to hit likely a year sooner. But it's hard, like,
of course,
it's a big expense. You're taking on a responsibility of another human.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't have any kids, so I don't know what that feels like. This guy's got 6. So
3.
Well, 3 plus everybody. Right.
Way more than 6.
Right. I was being nice. Anyways,
those are good 4. Those are really good 4.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, so kind of your brand and being proud of it, making sure everybody knows. I did hear that even at the gym, you were rocking some DF.
Always.
I love it.
I only rock DF everywhere. I'm gonna get some new stuff. Problem is, it's all Gildan. They were extra large. Now they're small. I'm rocking crop tops at the gym, but that's okay.
Your sweater was small today too.
You like that, eh?
I feel like a crop top would look great on you.
Amazing.
Yeah. Could really be your new staple.
Put a picture of DK Metcalf. Okay.
Oh yeah, in the crop top,
dude. He looks incredible with purple hair and just shredded.
Yeah, we gave him a lot of pictures that he's not.
DK Metcalf. He's not.
When you watch this, you can put it up. I know.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Is that the look that you're going for? Or?
Like, I would love that. I just don't think it's ever.
He's kind of going for like Post Malone, like cowboy boots and shorts and a tee.
I think she's talking more like physique.
Oh, physique.
I don't know if I'm looking for that.
No.
He's
I meant
really,
the whole
he's
overall,
really
like the crop top,
purple
hair.
No,
it's DK.
Okay.
Yeah. A
DF.
little bit of a beauty, that guy.
For sure.
Absolute weapon.
Good answer, Dan.
That was a great answer.
But
Thank you.
apparently I said 2, but then gave 4. But
that's okay.
Okay.
You're convinced. You said you were going to do 3.
You stayed on brand.
Thank you. That is, if there's one thing about me, is that
you would have made me look bad if you only stopped at 2, because then I kept looking at the camera saying more's coming.
Oh.
And that's why I did the 1, 2,
but
3,
it was
4.
like, it was gold rushy stuff, no?
It was very good.
It was great.
Okay, do you have a question for Paul?
I do.
I'm fired up about this one.
Yeah, I have a question.
I was hoping we were going to avoid
saying,
that.
oh man, but he's so excited.
No, I'm not. I thought we were going to end it.
With that blazer.
I'm not prepared for
Razor.
Razor Ramon?
I won't make it a difficult question. I think just back to kind of, I asked you what makes you a successful agent. When you're bringing, again, ClearTrust has done such a great job with so many top agents now. So when you're looking at kind of growing the team or you're bringing new agents on, what do you look for? Like, we talked a lot about that, right? Sometimes it just takes somebody to see potential or to see something in you for you to get that position or that next job. So what do you look for when you're bringing on a new
What we
agent?
look for today is different than we looked for 5 years ago. But one thing that remained consistent is attitude. Mm-hmm. So now we're being much more selective with experience, with where they're coming from. But I would say just because someone did volume doesn't mean that they're the right fit for us. And it's all about attitude and fitting in with our culture. And our culture is being happy for one another, never fighting over deals, sharing whatever's working for you, and treating our partners, which includes lenders, yourselves, anyone, with the most outright respect and integrity. And I know I just gave 18,000 answers, but that all comes down with attitude to learn, as well as just the fit. So those things are key, and those won't change. And I would say even someone that doesn't have experience and, you know, maybe they're brand new or they're coming from a more junior bankroll, they have the right attitude to learn and want to move forward. Potential makes a huge difference. It's all grind, right, as well. So the people that come in and say, you know, I want to get to Dan's level or Miguel's level and don't expect or have any idea how much work they're going to have to put in, it's not about looking at how this person got there. Like, what are you going to do to ensure that you get there?
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the biggest thing. So I think for me, it's all that.
Don't you think during, and I'm gonna talk to you because we're like the same
Please talk to
age-ish.
Dan.
We just realized a year apart. During COVID, didn't you find that like everyone that you went to like high school with that wasn't really doing much in their life either became like a realtor or like a mortgage agent?
So it's becoming so like we should just like there's a new podcast altogether. I like it.
Yeah.
Right? Because people thought it was just easy money. Like, oh, look, like, you know, nice cars and they got money and Rolexes, and they just thought it was just this easy business to be a part of. And we're kind of seeing it now where
It's
the attrition,
hard.
people are leaving, you know.
It's
There's
incredibly
for
hard.
sure
is very
consolidation in the market.
But yeah, everyone was. I think there's
Yeah.
we went to a Remax spring kickoff, and the joke was when the cops pull you over now, they ask you for your realtor license as well as your driver license.
That's funny. That's funny.
I didn't say it. It was someone else's, but I don't think it was that funny. But
Okay,
relevant.
sorry, it's not that funny.
That was your fake
I
laugh.
I took away
That was
my-
his fake laugh.
I actually thought that was funny.
But yes, everyone was becoming that.
It's not just, you know, putting a mortgage together. You're running a business here. Like, you know, like any other business, it's gonna have its challenges, and I don't know if there's an easy business out there.
No.
Right. So
Then everyone would be doing it.
exactly. So I think that specifically with a mortgage, there's so much to know and there's so much that needs to go right for it to actually close. Even like a cookie cutter file, there's so many parties that are involved and so many nuances. And like, you know, if you're a part-time mortgage agent, God bless you, but like you're not doing your customers you're doing them a disservice, in fact, by not knowing exactly what's out there and not practicing it all the time, right? Like you wouldn't really go to a doctor that sees one patient a year. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you want to deal with professionals, and you want, and like the people that do well in this business take this shit serious. Like, you know, there's important things to know when you're, you know, operating at a high level, and, you know, handling people's money. In fact, handling somebody's largest transaction. You need to know what's going on, and it's not about a commission. The biggest guys in the industry will tell you that they don't look at commissions.
Facts.
Words from the wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good questions. Really good.
She was prepared.
No, actually, so I don't prepare. That's one really weird thing about me.
It's not bad.
So like when you send me something, I like it to sound more natural. So I don't typically sit and like try to script things out. Like I try to let things come based on how
Naturally.
the conversation
which
goes.
is
and
Yeah.
yeah.
We have to send questions to all the guests just
Yeah.
because we don't
You
want
know,
people.
Really throw me
interesting
off.
too. Like the age was definitely a problem for me too. I mean, I was able to hide behind a little bit of a beard, so that helped a bit. But I think that if I didn't have a beard, it would be more challenging, and that was something I faced for a long time. In fact, I used to lie about my age to like referral partners and
To
stuff.
say you're younger or older?
Older.
So if you didn't have a beard right now, you'd look
No.
young?
I'm saying like when I started at 21, right? I didn't have a big beard. It was like that, right?
Yeah.
And I think people smelt the greenness.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me work harder.
You have to prove yourself.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that was something that actually played to my advantage. But it's certainly something that I had to deal with as well.
Incredible.
I
Thank you
love
so
it.
much.
No, thank you guys.
This is a great episode.
Yeah, thank you
What's wrong?
guys.
Nothing.
You're still thinking about something?
I just love your blazer.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be the title of this episode.
No, it's not.
I
The
love
title
your
of this
blazer.
I don't know if
episode-
you've worn this
Title of this
blazer
episode is
recently.
Being Comfortable in the Uncomfortable.
Being
Oh, I love that,
comfortable,
eh?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or
BMO Bank of Montreal. Again, if anyone
love
knows
BMO.
why.
I know, we all do. It's not a bad thing. You're not saying anything bad.
It's just a great point that you brought up. You
it's
don't
like
say
meet
TD
me
Toronto
at
Dominion.
8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
You do.
You're not saying anything bad.
You just
I'm
start
not offended
correcting
by it.
You
him.
should shut that down. Just meet me at 8
I
a.m.
also say meet me at 8 p.m. in the evening.
You don't.
Maybe.
I don't think so, Paul.
He's going to be more cognizant now when he says it.
I'm not overly concerned about it. It's
No,
not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
No.
So I got
No.
other things to worry
The blue
about.
behind you looks great.
I think I'm
Turquoise is
blending
your
in
color. Baby
to the,
blue's your
to
color.
the to the screen.
You might be.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is just banter. Thank you so much.
Thank
We had
you
a blast.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. So did I.